How risky of a career move was it for you making the switch from IRL to NASCAR?
It depends on how you look at it. I don't think I've got anything kind of left to prove, so I'm going to go have some fun. Do you know what I mean? I'm really happy with what I've been able to achieve in open wheel racing. So I'm going to go and try something completely different. I'm starting off at zero. I'm a rookie. I've got, you know, and I'm hopeful it's going to go very well. It might not, but you know, I'm here to try something new. And I'm you know, starting at zero again, and it's kind of fun.
And usually with great risk, there's a potential for great reward too. So how lucrative a move could this turn out to be?
It could be. It could be a lot of money involved, but you know, the big reason for coming over here was it's something new, that new challenge of just learning something completely different, and you know, going to have some fun as well. When I was making the move, I called Juan up and I said, right, you know, what's this all about? And he said, you know, the racing is the most fun you'll ever have. It's such good fun racing, and that was me. I was sold.
What did he tell you about what the transition was like for him?
Well, he's been there every step of the way. You know, some days I'll be there and it won't be going so well, and he's going, hey, it's going well. You know, you keep going. You know, you're doing well. When I was doing it at this stage, this happened to me. So he's great to be there from that point of view. And it's good to have Reed there as well, because Reed's got maybe a more traditional route to where he is now in Sprint Cup. So, you know, between the two of them, it's they're there every step of the way, and a lot of the other drivers have been helpful too.
Juan Pablo Montoya, he said that when he signed with Chip Ganassi Racing, he realized that sometimes he was just going to finish dead last. How strange would that be for you?
He said that to me. Juan said that. He said, look, you have to understand, sometimes 20th is going to be a good day, and there's some days you're going to be running top 5, and the next week you'll be in the 30s. And he said, you just got to get used to it. So that's going to be different. You know, there's some days, you know, when I did my first ARCA race at Talladega, we ran 17th, and I was not very happy with that result. But people are saying, yeah, that wasn't too bad. And that's a new mindset. Completely, there's so many different things in this form of racing.
Right. We talk about psychological effects from crashes. I mean, psychological effects from that change in philosophy, where, you know, finishing a little farther back in the pack isn't as bad as it now, or as it once was.
Yeah, we qualified 20th at Homestead, I think, and the guys were really happy with it. And I was thinking, wow, I was 6 months ago, if I'd have qualified 20th somewhere, I'd have gone, you know, I'd have retired on the spot. But it's just that there's 40-something cars there. It's a different mindset, and it's so close. And people always say, I remember watching, and I watch a lot of NASCAR on TV. And I remember people saying, people that had come over here, oh, it's so difficult, you don't understand, blah, you know. And it's true. So I'm going to be one of those guys as well that says it is so difficult, and until you come over here and try it, you've got no idea. I watched Hornish, I watched Juan, and I watched some of their struggles. And I know these guys are great drivers, but I think it just proves how difficult the transition is and how difficult the sport is.
Now, did you think you would do better or worse than you did the first time you got in a stock car?
It was difficult the first time because it was a restrictor plate track. You know, we qualified well, we ran okay, and I thought 17th, I wasn't happy with that result. I wanted the top 5 out of the whole thing. We since found out we damaged the car, some debris had come up and stuff, so that kind of made me understand a bit more why it happened. Since then, you know, some days have gone better than I thought, and some days have gone worse than I thought.
The morning of your first race at Talladega, you're driving to the track, and your agent was telling me how you said you couldn't remember the last time you actually had to drive to the race car track the morning of. How strange was that for you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think yeah, because the first night I got there, I stayed in the hotel, then my bus showed up after that. But yeah, there was definitely that point of driving into the track, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't see too many 7 o'clocks in the morning. As I say, I'm not a morning person, so it was a whole new feeling. Going to registration, signing in, you know, talk about being a rookie. It was all new, and where do I go? And I couldn't even find my way to pit lane, you know, because the way they park the cars in stock car racing, and you drive round into pit lane in practice. I didn't know where I was going, and if I hadn't been for my spotter, tell me, you know, turn right here, turn left here, I'd have been lost. I'd have gone down the wrong way. I'd probably ended up on the highway.
I love this. The 2007 Indy 500 champion and series champion in your first stock car experience ever. Not only do you have to wait in line for a credential, you have to wear the paper credential around your neck. What the heck is going on with that?
It's all part of it. It's all part of it. I have to say though, it was a pretty efficient system. I was in there, I signed my name. 2 minutes later, I was out of there. But that's another thing that's new. You have to sign on every week. You have to sign a disclaimer every week. I'm not used to that, so I have to remember to do just small things like that. I have to remember to sign a disclaimer every week. All new.
And it gets better because you're in pit lane waiting to run your first laps. Dario, do you speak English?
Yeah. Actually, I think I saw that guy here today.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did you say something to him?
Yeah. I'm going to go ask him if it was him, because I think he's probably got a real hard time from some of his friends on that one.
How did you respond?
I had my helmet on, so he probably couldn't, and my engine was running, so he probably couldn't hear what I said, and I can't say it.
Give me an idea.
I said, are you
beep, beep,
beep, beep, beep, kidding me? That was the gist of it.
How was the race?
The race, we had to start at the back. We had an engine problem in practice, so we started at the back, and the first 20 laps, the thing was a rocket ship, and we took off up the front, and I was really enjoying it. Then I started to get really into the intricacies of the draft and how the air goes around a stock car and how you have to draft. It's more important who's behind you than who's in front of you, all those things, and really start to get used to it and enjoy it. And then sometime shortly after that, when I had the first pit stop, I made a real mess of that one. I let the RPMs get too low and the power steering stop working, so I didn't position it as well as I could in the box. So that was the first lesson. And then we put some point during that time, we punched a hole in the front of the car with some debris. And from then on, it wasn't quite as good.
Tell me about the mistakes you made drafting.
The first mistakes I made drafting, I was trying to draft it like an Indy car. It's all about who's in front of you. With a stock car, it's about who's beside you, who's in front of you, who's behind you. And so we just had to get used to all those different things. And I think I've just scratched the surface, though. At that point, I've just scratched the surface of learning about the draft in a stock car.
How bizarre is it to actually bump a car on purpose?
That is bizarre. The first time I bump drafted somebody, it's a good feeling, though. It's fun. It's really good fun to do it. It's not quite, it's when someone bump drafts you and you get that surge forward, and you're like, hey, thanks, man. You know, look in the mirror, give them a little signal, but then when they maybe do it too soon after a corner or too soon before a corner, or right as you turn into a corner, it can get pretty interesting. So you got to be comfortable with the people that you're doing it with.
How do your NASCAR skills compare to those of other drivers?
How do you mean?
I mean, because this is early on for you, you've just made the transition. How is your racing ability in stock cars compared to the competition?
Right now, I'm learning. As I say, I'm a rookie, and for good reason. I've still got a lot to learn. And some of the short tracks, I think I ran well. The last race at Homestead, I feel I was running well until I crashed. I made a mistake. So I got a lot to learn. I'm under no illusions here. I'm at the bottom of a big mountain right now.
How long before you feel you can legitimately compete?
Well, I'm close to be able to compete. To win, though, that's another question, and we'll see how that works out. And I won't be able to tell you that until I do my first Sprint Cup races and see just how big a job I've got ahead of me. But I'm not underestimating this at all.
What are your expectations for the upcoming season?
I'm going to do my best. The team are going to do their best, and we'll see where it ends up.